Okay, so we need a foam roller. If you don't have your foam roller or a foam roller, just grab a tennis ball or another like small ball, lacrosse ball, whatever. I'm going to use the roller, and we are actually going to hit up the legs today. So we are going to focus on rolling the legs. So set your roller down, and you're just going to sit on top of it for now and extend your legs out in front of it. You'll need to put your hands behind the roller and then engage that core so we're not stressing the low back or putting anything out of range of where it should be. And then as you're rolling back and forth on your hamstrings, you just kind of windshield wiper your toes. So your toes will kind of point in, point up, point out. And then depending on how painful, I guess, this rolling is, can kind of be a good indicator for how badly you need it, right? How stiff and rigid that fascia is. And if you have a, part of the leg or part of the body that is a little bit more tender, then focus there. Make sure you're breathing with it. Toes in, toes out. And then we're going to hit up our calves. And if you don't have a roller, if you don't have a tennis ball, you can kind of try to just work through some mobility sets as far as what we're doing on the roller. So for calves, I would suggest downward facing dog, stretching through your calves. You can do a calf raise. You can do a calf stretch against the wall. Just don't hold your stretch too long. You want to keep kind of going in and out of it so it's a little more dynamic and less static. Take your right foot and cross it on top of the left shin and keep rolling. Keep your feet relaxed. So when I first started rolling my shins, I had my feet flexed. And I realized when I relax the muscles, keep those feet relaxed, they get a much better kind of roll out. All right, switch to the other side. Keep that foot relaxed. Roll to one side and then the other on that shin. Whew. This one's a little bit more tender than the other. Keep the core strong. All right. And then we're going to do something else a little bit funky. So I'm going to have you actually lie on the ground. Let's start this way. Lie all the way on the ground. Again, if you don't have a roller, no big deal. Just keep your hips on the ground and move your legs in the same direction that we are. So you're going to drive your hips, put your hips up on top of the roller. So you're going to have a little bit of an arch in your low back. And you want the roller kind of right on the very top of the pelvis. So where your low back hits your pelvis. And then easy does it, bring both legs up. So again, if you're not on the roller, no big deal. Just bring both legs up off the ground. And you should be able to feel like you know that the roller is in the right position if it's not going to roll out away from you. Okay, so you have that pelvis right on top of the roller. And then we're going to windshield wiper your legs. So take your legs to the left, grab through the core, knees come up through center, take your legs to the right. Grab that core through center, hold them here on the left, and then you're just going to lift or extend and bend the right leg. We'll go 5 times. There's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Take your legs back through center to the other side. Keep that core strong. Obviously, if it's putting any pressure on the low back, then we'll need to adjust. But this technically is supposed to be really helpful and beneficial for giving you some relief and release in the SI joint, the sacroiliac joint. Come back to center, and then just put both legs up, and you're going to hold. So just hold those legs, grab through that core, take a couple deep breaths, let the blood kind of rush down. All right, plant your feet on the ground. Lift the hips, and we're going to flip over, hit the quads, and then we'll get started. So the roller is going to be right above your knees. Put your forearms on the ground, still keeping that belly strong. So roll yourself forward and back. Forward and back. Again, if you kind of want to rock your hips side to side, Roll to the left, roll to the right. Let one hip drop. And then again, if you feel a little spot that's more tender, just stay there. It's also beneficial to kind of leave the roller still and then move the appendage or the leg or the arm, whatever it is that you're rolling, while the roller stays still. So it's really your connection with the roller, what feels good for your body. And hopefully over time, it'll feel less painful and more like a release. Little self-massage. All right. With that, let's go ahead and get rid of our roller. We're going to wake up that core a little bit more, and then we're going to get going with the leg set. All right, so we're going to hit up a downward facing dog and then shift into plank. If you don't do either of those, feel free to hit up a bird dog. So you would be on hands and knees, extending opposite arm and leg. So slide into those back muscles, feel the belly engage, hollow out your armpits. Let's take a couple deep breaths here and just feel the body. Notice whether or not your legs feel a little better than they did before we were rolling. All right, take an exhale, come forward over those wrists, slide those shoulder blades down, contract in the core. Feel that heat, feel that lift, feel the grab, and then push back. And then come forward, tuck through that tailbone, grab through the core. See if you can wrap muscle to bone in the thighs. Drive back and then come forward. All right, stay here, shoulders up over the wrists, and then take your right knee to left elbow and left knee to right. We'll go 10 each side. Tuck that tailbone. Flex through the core. When you tuck that knee in, feel the belly do the work. So create resistance. Don't just get from start to finish. Stabilize with the back. You have that teeny rotation, that little twist in the mid back. Grab with that core. Final 2 and 1. All right. Go ahead and come on up. I'm going to talk us through what we're doing. I'll have you go along with me without weight to kind of get you through the motions. It'll kind of add into the warm-up, and then we'll get started. So we're going to do 2 different combo moves for the legs. We'll be holding weight, and the first is a deadlift to curtsy lunge. So you're going to deadlift over the legs, that flat, flat back, strong, strong core. Once you get your stack at the top, take one leg back and down in that curtsy, and then you'll come up. So we're going to do all 10 on one leg, and then all 10 on the other. Make sure that knee tracks with the toe in that front leg. All right, after we hit all those, we're going to do a squat to lateral lunge. So you're going to hold those weights, squat it deep. You're going to take a big lunge to the side, and then hopefully you can get your weights pretty low to the ground. But it's kind of up to whatever your body mobility has. We'll get the other side real quick. Hit your squat and then your lunge. So we'll go 10 each side there, squat and lunge. And then I'm pretty sure our heart rate's going to be revved by then, but just because it'll be fun, we're going to add in a little bit of intensity, and we're going to do 10 reps of a mountain climber, 10 reps of a plank jack, come up 10 reps of a jump squat, and then 10 reps of a squat jack. So a squat jack is where you'll hold your squat, and then you're going to jump in and out. We'll have a little stretch interim, and then we'll roll into another round. So that's going to be our set. Let's get started. Grab your weights. We'll do our deadlift to curtsy to start. Shoulders back and down, core nice and strong. Here we go. Hinge over those legs and then step back. The heavier the weight that you have, the slower you'll go. So if you feel in control and you can move at a faster pace than me, feel free. But take a time to get into those legs, those hamstrings, those glutes, the core. Lots of core here, especially as you kind of hit that twist in your curtsy. Push those hips back. Back nice and flat. Perfect. Think this is 8. Drive through that front heel. Core really strong. And 10. Now we'll hit that other side. Feel like you're trying to make the back as long as possible. The chest really, really tall. Perfect. Building these big muscle groups. So beneficial for your strength, your capacity, your ability, everywhere else in the body. Keep those legs strong. Hinge it over. Keep that belly wrapped really tight all the way around. Three to go. Good. Lots of hip hinge as you step back, as you hit that curtsy, that front hip flexor. Lots of hinge. Nice job. Whew. Okay, so now we're going to go to our squat and lateral lunge. You need to give yourself a quick break. Take it. And then here we go. Take that lunge, sit your hips back and down. I'm sorry, your squat. Then step wide, lunge over. So whatever that straight leg is, keep it straight and strong on that inner thigh. Sit that hip back and down. Your range is up to you. Core, you have to have that core to protect your low back. Doing great. Sit those hips back. Make sure the knees are barely coming forward at all. And then really watch yourself as you come back from that lateral lunge. That straight leg stays straight. This is 10, I think. All right, other side. Walk it over. Here we go. Squat. Hinge back and down. And then over. Pull those knees toward the outer edge of those feet. Squeeze between your shoulder blades. Focus that core. 6. If you feel like you might not get back up out of that lunge, then you know you're going deep enough. Woo. Watch that upper middle back. 9. And 10. All right. Gear up. Let's start with a little downward facing dog. If you don't do mountain climbers or plank jacks, you can run in place and do jumping jacks from the top. All right. Try to hit those transitions quick. Ready, set, go. 10 mountain climbers. 10 plank jacks. 10 jump squats. And then 10 squat jacks, right? Stay low, knees out with toes. That's it. And 10. Woo! Lie it down. This is our little interim. Up to you. You can keep your head and shoulders up or keep them on the ground. Engage to that core. Pull just a little behind your thigh. Stretch that hamstring. Keep the core going. So sneaking in a little stretch Grabbing lots of core. Just a little pulse. Scoop through that belly. Flex those legs. One more. And done. Hug those knees. Take a deep breath. And let's hit set 2. All right. Check in. Keep that core going strong. That was good pace. Super nice. All right, deadlift, curtsy. I'm going to start on my second side this time. Hinge forward. Punch up through those glutes. Cut it back. That's 1. Lifted chest. Strong core. Squeeze between those shoulder blades. And then really focus on those glutes. Make sure you get all the way to standing before you cut back to that curtsy. This is 8. 9. Squeeze that belly. Flex those glutes. 10. Other side. Deadlift. Cut back the other way. 1. Make sure that front knee lines up with the toe. Recognize, what are you using? Where are you staying supported to facilitate better form, stronger move? You're in control. Find the control. 2 more. Where's that core? And 10. All right. Give yourself a little second. Stretch through those forearms. Maybe a standing cat-cow. Feeling good. Building that heat. Alrighty. Squat to lateral lunge. Hinge those hips back and down. Here we go. Keeping that core. If one weight feels better for you, that's great. You find your drive. You find your challenge. Even though we're working the legs, what's going on in that upper back is just as important. Build the muscles that help keep the back tall, the chest lifted, core. Now drive through that glute. Looking good. Looking good. 2 more. Whew. Other side. I'm going to take a second. Whew. All right, let's do it. Squat to lateral lunge. Push that chest forward first. Here we go. Sit those hips back and down. Knees line with toes. 3. That straight leg stays straight. 5. Drop those hips. 8. 9. And 10. Yes. All right. Nice work. We have our little cardio burst. We're going to go mountain climbers, plank jacks, jump squats, and squat jacks. 10 of each. 3, 2, and go. 9, 10. Plank jacks. Keep that plank. 8, 9, 10. Jump squats. Our goal is heart rate here. Squat jacks. Knees out with toes. Get into those inner thighs. Lift your chest. 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Well done. Lie down. We're going to get our scissor pulls with that core contraction. And then, my friends, we're going to hit one more round. Inhale, exhale, switch. All right, while you're stretching here, giving yourself a little break, think through your next round. What do you want from it? Do you need to go down in weight in order to keep form? Do you need to go up in weight? Push yourself a little more. If you don't have the option of different weights, maybe you move a little faster. All right, coming up. Maybe you focus more on just pre-flexing, grabbing those isometric holds, and then working from there. Find whatever you can. Build that imagination, that mental capacity to get deeper and better into your move. All right, here we go. Deadlift to curtsy. Inhale forward, exhale, push, and then curtsy. There's one. Belly strong. Focus on your form, your pace, your level of intensity. Remember, it's your choice what you need to make this the best round yet. Drive through that front heel. Core firm. Punch all the way to the top. 10. Hit that other side. Squeeze between those shoulder blades. Where's the core? Get that stance set. 3. 4. Lots of upper outer butt for the literal term as you drive through that curtsy. 8. Where's that core? 9. 10. Whew. All right, we're going to have our squat to lateral. Woo, it's a good burn. Okie doke. Let's hit it. Squat to lunge. I'm going to try my best to count perfectly. You guys have to watch your form. You should know by now. 3, if it feels right. 4, should be in those glutes, inner thigh core. 5, watch that straight, strong leg. 7, 2 to go. 9, squeeze between those shoulder blades. And 10. All right, squat and lunge. Here we go. 1, Connect your brain. What's your body doing? Where can you push a little more? 4. 5. Drive to that heel. We got 8, 9, 10 to go. Lift that chest. Drive to that glute. Woo. And 10. All right. Mountain climbers, plank jacks, jump squats, squat jacks, and then we're done. Spread those fingertips wide. We're going to take a couple more breaths. I want us to push without a break. Ready, set, go. 2, 3. Plank jacks. Jump squats. Get low. Hold that core. And then your squat jacks. 3, 4. Looking good. 8, 10. Whew. Good job. Face your mat. And then this time, instead of our hamstring pull, we're going to do a little slide. So slide forward and then hinge back. Work with your breath. Got my heart rate up. Awesome job. Hopefully you all have found a little extra time for your challenge. Okay, stay in the front. So we're going to do a hip flexor stretch, but we're going to really think it through. So line your top knee, front knee up with your heel. Both hands, if you can, on the inside. Lift the back knee off the ground and then hug your knees toward the midline. So you should kind of feel your pelvis lift and your back lengthen, and then slowly drop that back hip toward the ground. Back is long. So hopefully you found a little extra time to roll or stretch. Really, any part of the day is great. I find doing a little routine before I go to bed super great. Drop that back knee, and then we're going to come back for our hamstring stretch. Kind of pull your body over the leg. So instead of straight forward, see if you can rotate that sternum so it's just a little past the knee. Pull that right hip back. I don't know that I notice I sleep any better, but I definitely notice when I wake up in the morning, I don't feel quite so old if I get that little roll or stretch. Okay, cross your ankle over. We're going to hit up our pigeon. Square off those hips toward the ground. Reach that chest forward. Pull that toe, that front toe back toward the shin. And then breathe into the places that you feel the most stretch. All right, push into those hands. We're going to switch it up. So the right leg comes back, left leg comes forward, and then we're going to do that little slide, forward and back. Good, forward and back. Keep that hinge. Hopefully you guys have gotten a few people to join you in your streaking every day. It was kind of funny because my daughter does. Okay, hold that forward position, stretch through the hip flexor. My daughter does what's it called, Snapchat, and they do streaks on there. So I told her, I was like, hey, you know, mileage streaking is pretty fun too. So she's joining me, not every day, but here and there. It's kind of funny though, she gets the concept of streaking through her social media app. However I can find health in those things, I will try. All right, drop that back knee down, hinge the hips back, the toe comes up, pull that back hip forward, and then let's try to kind of twist over that front leg. So if you notice when you twist over that leg, the hip kind of pulls back, and then you'll feel a little more stretch all along that hamstring. And then let's hit our pigeon, cross the ankle over, sink those hips to square off at the ground. Rotate your pelvis so that it's as square as possible. So if that means that you're a little bit shortened, that's okay. Just go for that healthy stretch. You shouldn't feel pain in the knee. Remember, you want to flex that front toe back toward your shin. All right, push into those hands. Hike the hips up and then walk your hands back toward your toes. Reach over those legs. Give yourself a nice forward fold. Grab through the core. We're going to come all the way up. Inhale. Reach the arms overhead. Just stretch. Take deep breath in. And then exhale. Good job.